Hello and welcome to NARC Live on Wednesday the 9th of December. Coming to you live from Norfolk on the east coast of England with Tammy M0TC.
Hello.
And me, David G7RP. It's lovely to have you with us. On the show tonight, we have a very special guest star coming soon, and there's more. Experience nature's Christmas decorations. And we find out who works from a Radio Shack like this. But first, we start with your club news, and our president, Malcolm G3PDH, wrote to me today with details of the contest results, and he wants us to pass on a big vote of thanks to all of the NARC's contesters. Throughout 2020, they've put in a great effort, achieving excellent results in the RSGB club-related contests. These have mainly been on HF, but there is a renewed interest in VHF contests, and those members with multi-mode VHF stations are encouraged to participate in order to build on the HF success. This is now a summary of some of the results achieved. Here we go. The AFS then, CW, we came 4th. AFS Data, we came 5th. AFS Data, SSB, we came 5th. In the whole autumn series, we came 2nd. And on the top band, 160 metre club calls 3rd. And our NARC Nelson team overall came 2nd. And we got 3rd place for NARC Boudica. So very well done. That really is a fantastic effort. Said not just from Malcolm as the president of the club, but from me and of course from everybody else in the club. We're very proud of what you've done, and you should be really proud as well. Now, I did just give a brief mention of our membership. As you know, we've set a very special low rate of £5 for membership for our club for next year. It's an online membership. We encourage you to join. The details are on our website. And by the way, we'd love you to pay by BATC if you can. A few of you have been paying by PayPal, and you can. The only problem with PayPal is you do lose quite a chunk, or we, the club, lose quite a chunk of money. So, in fact, about 75p, I think, even from £5. So if you can pay by BATC, do. Or if you feel like paying a pound or so more on PayPal, it does mean that the club will get the full amount. Now, several years ago, about 2 years I guess, there was a lovely little radio kit on sale, and we did a whole feature of it with Hans Summers. It's called the QCX, and Martin M0XKM has written to me to tell me that there's a new mini version of that radio now available. Now, it was already small, but have a look at this. There's full details on their website. It's about the same price as the old one, so it's $55, but it's called the QCX Mini. And it really is a fantastic, tiny, look at the size. That isn't someone's very giant hand. That really is an incredibly small radio kit. So thank you very much, Martin, for sending me that. If you want to know more details about that, look for qrplabs.com, qrp-labs.com. And John, G0MXN, has sent us this little reminder of what Christmas can be about. Give you a chance to read it. They don't have to be like that, do they?
There's somebody there, they've got their phone, they're taking a lot of pictures.
Oh, that's true, yeah. It's a nativity play, I think, and everything. Anyway, thank you very much for sending us that, John. Now, another John, John M6JAU, was actually watching Bargain Hunt last week when he quickly saw this come up on the screen. He quickly took a picture. This is literally off his television, a picture of that. It's from Bargain Hunt, and as you can see, it's a Morse key. I've got no idea what Morse key that is. Some of you watching who know, maybe you'd like to quickly put it on one of the BATC or the Facebook streams and tell us. But anyway, that was on Bargain Hunt, but he didn't stay around for the programme. By the time he got back, they'd actually sold it, so he doesn't know what it fetched. So is it valuable? I have no idea, but one of you may do. Thank you for sending this, John. And at the same time as well, John also sent us this wonderful picture and said that it was a picture of spiders putting up their own Christmas decorations at Bury bus station yesterday. Wasn't that stunning? We do all this wonderful stuff with technology, but you know, there's nothing to beat data, is there, Tammy? Nature. Got data on the brain. That's what happens when you work all day and then you do this. Yeah, it's fantastic what nature can do, isn't it? Isn't that incredible?
It's really good.
And now it's your part of the show. Little people. Tammy, tell us what you've chosen for us this week.
Well, the little people are going a bit Christmassy this week, so here we go. Christmas and cold. So this is called, I can't remember what it was called now.
One all. Okay. Well, it's obviously an ice cream dessert.
It was called a Christmas twee or something, I think. So,
that's fantastic. And with ice cream, it's one of those pictures that is just made from just regular bits of ice cream and everything else. So if you want to see more of these sort of pictures, just go to that web address at the bottom of your page now, miniature-calendar.com. And tell us what you've been doing as well. Just like we've had those pictures and stories and things coming from members. This is your show. This is all for NARC members and friends, of course. So if you're watching from wherever, we'd love to hear from you. So let us know. Drop us a line to this usual email address, radio@dcpmicro.com, with any pictures, stories or anything. Whether they're radio related or not, we would love to hear from you. And now it's that time, though, where every week since March, we've been showing you a picture from one of our members' Radio Shacks. This is the picture that we showed you last week. Who did you think worked from a shack like this? There's a lot of military equipment there, and we got a bumper postbag, really. So Martin G3ZQU says, I reckon it could belong to Dave G3UUR.
Mike M0XXM says, based on the number of excellent green radios, I think the shack probably belongs to Paul G3VPT.
Dave G3VSJ says, does this shack belong to Terry at Blowfield? I think that's his name, and I've worked him a few times on 5 megs, and all that army gear, it must be a clue, he says.
Bob G7JTZ, hi David and Tammy, I believe the shack is Paul G3VPT's, though I would call it a museum. The only thing missing is his 19 set, which is in room 2 of Paul's collection. Note, viewing is by appointment only.
I love it, a museum. I bet that's insulting to whoever's shack that is. Simon Hammond M0SIH says, I think the shack in the pictures belongs to Paul G3VPT. Having had many rag chews on the 4-metre band with Paul on his Klansman PRC 353 radio, I know he's a military radio enthusiast, as am I too. And he also says he recognises the receiver from undertaking his intermediate assessment.
Well, Mark G0LGJ, Kevin M0UJD, Ken M0HGU, Colin M0GMK, Malcolm G3PDH, I need more breath for this, and John G8VPE also think that it's Paul G3VPT.
That's right, and also I just saw on Facebook that Andy M0NKR also thinks it's Paul G3VPT. Could they all be wrong? Tammy, press that magic button.
I think they are right.
They are right.
Ooh, what's that sound?
Oh. He's our very own Foggy.
Oh, bless.
Paul G3VPT.
You have Nora Batty in here in a minute, so we need to
better
get
cut
going.
that. Cut. All right. So let's have a look then, Tammy, at what we've got for this week. Who works from a shack like this? Now,
that's a bit different. It has a computer this week.
It's a bit different. It's got a computer, but it's also got a green radio there, look. And is that a straight Morse key I see there? I think so.
Yeah, looks like it.
So who's...
There's coffee there as well.
Oh, it's Posh Coffee as well,
Posh
look.
Coffee.
Yeah. Okay, that's all the clues. Well, you're going to, I'm sure, know who that is. Let us know if you know whose that shack is. Let us know by 3 o'clock next Wednesday at the latest, and drop us an email to this address as usual, radio@dcpmicro.com. 3 o'clock next Wednesday is your deadline really for letting us know that. We'd love to hear from you. Just to tell you now, if you had a few things happening on the club next week before we get to our main event. This Saturday, the 12th of December, is the Advent Koblenz Sked with our twin club in Koblenz in Germany at 10 o'clock on 7.135 megahertz. All the details, of course, as usual, will be on the website as well as on this slide there. This Monday, we've got an informal NARC net at 7:30 on GB3NB. And next Wednesday, NARC Live, Wednesday the 9th of December. No, it's not Wednesday the 9th of December at all. It's Wednesday, whatever that is, 16th of December. Our first ever NARC online Christmas party. Woo-hoo. And it's hosted by Tammy and from Kevin and myself. So I hope you'll give that a go. We're working hard on it, and it should be a great deal of fun. So that's next Wednesday here. It's the NARC Christmas party online. And as usual, of course, we do love to hear from you with your stories and shacks and pictures and that sort of thing as well. It's brilliant. Just drop us an email to the usual address, radio@dcpmicro.com. And if you want to find out what's on the air, have a look at Norfolk on the Air slide, which is always on our website. There we go. And finally, I just want to mention this again. This is our special Christmas card that Tammy's designed and we've printed now. We've sent out the first 6, I think. It's designed, it's got pictures of last year's NARC Christmas party. There we go, I'll hold it a bit nearer there. You can see lots of the pictures of everybody that was there. So we think a lot of the members of the club can be seen, and we will be very happy to send that to anybody you would like us to. It doesn't have to be NARC members, they can be anywhere in the world. They'll make it soon if we want them to get it to them by Christmas, and it might just cheer someone up, especially someone maybe on their own, someone who used to have a partner in the club possibly and no longer, and that sort of thing. That's what we're doing it for. So please let us know. Just drop a name and address to us and we'll be happy to send it. And also, of course, we've got our regular card as well if you'd rather send one of those for best wishes, get well soon, that sort of thing. We'd love to do it. Now, coming up to our main event, Tammy. Mm-hmm. We've teased you with this for a little while. How do we clip it? Well, I tell you what, we'll just play a little bit of music before we introduce our guest. Cue Tammy. See if you can get it from this. Ladies and gentlemen, no Christmas show would be complete without a real artist, someone who's been with us since the 80s. No variety show would be complete without Mr. Jimmy Cricket. Hey, Jimmy.
How are you, David?
We're great, thank you.
And how are you, Tammy?
Good, thank you.
And it's a big hello to everybody at the Norfolk Amateur Radios Club. I'm here.
It's brilliant to see you. I think you know what, Jimmy, I don't think they really thought that we've got, really special guests, because they're used to people just going to come and talk about, I don't know, I bet I've got to be careful I don't upset anything, but about a particular radio mode or something like that. But we've got you here tonight, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Lift the spirits of the world, you will, man. How are you doing?
Lovely. Well, lovely. And it's not a lookalike, David. And I must say to everybody, come closer, but stay 2 meters away, because I have found a great way to make sure I safe distance when I go into a pub and a restaurant.
How's that?
I bought a pair of flippers. And the other night, I went into a pub and I said to the barman in the pub, "Barman, come here, a glass of orange." He said, "Still orange?" I said, "Yes, I haven't changed my mind." And there's more. Because all of a sudden the door burst open and in ran this fella with a gun. And he said to the barman, "Hand over all the money in the till." And the barman said, "No way." He said, "Why?" The barman said, "Because you're not wearing a mask." Then, all of a sudden, a little tramp comes in. Now, you feel sorry, don't you, in this day and age with this weather? And this little tramp, and he only had one shoe. So I said, "Little tramp, have you lost a shoe?" He said, "No, I've just found one." But what I want to say to everybody is, it's so good that we've all come through this. It's been a tough year. And I don't know how you managed when the lockdown started in March, but I did some exercise. I ran 2 miles every day. And after 6 months, I arrived in Aberdeen. And I want to ask you, how did you manage to sleep? Because I had this dream. Now, can I share this with you?
Please do.
I dreamt I was in the desert. Walking through the desert. Oh, no. It was silent. And who should I see but Westlife? I thought it was Westlife. It turned out to be Oasis.
Yay!
And another night, I dreamt I was driving along. And I stopped and flipped up a pancake. Then I drove around a roundabout. Then I carried on driving. Then I stopped. I flipped up a pancake. And then I drove around another roundabout. Do you know I spent the whole night tossing and turning? Right? But things they've been tough for all of us, but particularly tough for us in show business, you know, and that's why I've had to count the pennies. So far this week, I've bought a watch on tick, a pair of glasses on spec. Are you ready for the third?
Yeah.
A Peter Pan DVD on the Never Never. And you have to seize every opportunity. I rang up Director Inquiries. He said, your call may be recorded. So I sang 2 songs and I'm waiting for the CD. Any day now, it's going to be coming up the hallway and things will turn out for the better. But you see, normally at this time, it's pantomime. But how could we do pantomime in these conditions? I mean, Cinderella can't dance with Prince Charming because of the social distancing. Every time Aladdin rubs the lamp, he'd have to run off and wash his hands. And it'll have to be Snow White and the 6 Dwarfs. Well, we can't have sneezing. But what cheers me up, everybody, is that I can ring home to Ireland. And my Uncle Patrick's a real character. Can I just share a little bit about him? He came into the pub one night and he had the front door under his arm. So I said, Uncle, what are you doing with the front door under your arm? He said, I've lost my key. I said, what happens if you lose the door? He said, I've left the window open. He bought 2 goldfish. He called the first one 1 and the second one 2. I said, Uncle, why have you done that? He said, because I got 2 for the price of 1. And if 1 dies, I've still got 2. I said, what happens if 2 dies? He said, well, I've still got 1 left. One cold, chilly, icy, frosty, snowy, shivery day. Have I set the scene, everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was walking past this pond that was all iced over. And he saw this fella out of the corner of his eye take a hammer, crack open the ice, take a fishing rod and reel up the biggest fish he ever saw. So he ran over. He said, how did you do that? And the fella said, well, there's a little rhyme to help you remember. Take a hammer to the ice and diggity dig, then reel up a fish that's biggity big. So my uncle thought, right, great. Take a hammer to the ice and diggity dig, then reel up a fish that's biggity big. So he goes into the hardware shop. He said, I'd like a hammer, please. The assistant said, how long do you want it? He said, I'd like to keep it for good. No. Off he goes, take a hammer to the ice and diggity dig, then reel up a fish that's biggity big. And he rings up the angling club. He said, I've just got a new fishing rod. Have you any tips? The fella said, hold the line. He said, oh, thanks very much. Take a hammer to the ice and diggity dig. He calls into the pub, has a couple of drinks, has another couple, and it's all dark when he gets to the ice. He gets his hammer, he's just about to crack it open, and he hears this voice. There are no fish there. So he goes over to another part of the ice. He takes his hammer, he's just about to crack it open. He hears the voice again. There are no fish there. He said, who is it? And the voice said, it's the manager of the ice rink.
Hey.
That's what's known, David, as a sit-down stand-up.
I know, it's such strange times, as you say, Jimmy. I mean, I'm glad, this is, I guess, the way that yourself and your fellow artists have been managed to keep working in the last 6-9 months.
I've been lucky. I've been very lucky. When it got to the end of August, the hotel in Blackpool's just an hour from where I live in Rochdale, 50 minutes sometimes as a crow flies when you're coming home at night. And I sort of do 2 shows a month through the year. It's I suppose, my staple dad. I've been very blessed to get that gig. And when things settled down a bit towards the end of August and September, then I was able to do my 2 shows in September and October. But of course, then when the lockdown kicked in again and we went to Tier 3, so I haven't been able to work. But I suppose I'm one of the lucky ones. I mean, the funny thing was, Bernie Clifton rang me the other day, and I said, Bernie, because I haven't done my act for a while, I worry about forgetting it. And there's a line at the start that goes, "Good evening, ladies, and could you tell me what the next word is?" And he said, "I'll have a word with my writers."
Oh dear, yeah. I mean, you've obviously embraced this technology. You're using an iPad now, aren't you, to doing this with us? And
I'm very blessed, David. I'm very blessed. I've got my good lady, Mrs. Cricket.
Yes.
Young May here, and she has the know-how, technology. She's quite gifted that way. So she's opened up a whole new market for me to do these wonderful shows here from my own living room. When I was getting changed upstairs into my gear, it reminded me that there was a time we did a gig once when all our children were small. We've got 4, but there was 3 of them at the time, tiny, and we got a booking in Malta for a month, the whole month of November in Malta, in a hotel called the La Praluna in Salima. And at the very tip top of this hotel was a cabaret room called the Sky Room. So I used to change in the bedroom and go up in the lift and do my show each night. And this is a bit like that, only I changed in the bedroom and come down.
Come down, yeah, that's brilliant. Jimmy, I think I'd just like to say to everybody at home now, once they got over the fact that we actually have got a real good, proper top man, that you can ask questions of Jimmy. I'm sure,
please,
if you're like me, and I don't want to embarrass you now or make you feel old or anything, Jimmy, but I mean, I remember watching you certainly when in the 80s and you were Saturday night television. There was going to be Seaside Special. There'd be people like Bernie Clifton and people like you and everything here. Yeah. So I'm sure lots of us have got lots of questions to ask you. So if you're watching at home, you'll be watching on Facebook on BATC. Just drop a little comment or a question or just a hello for Jimmy, and I'm sure he'll be happy to read it to you. So please do that while we're talking to Jimmy. Jimmy, can you just... We call this little bit of our program, which is normally a bit more serious than this, as you can imagine. We call it Getting to Know. So just to get to know a little bit more about you, how did you start in show business?
We moved. I was born in a place called Cookstown. It's a little town in County Tyrone in Northern Ireland, and. But when I was 2, my family, my mum and dad, we upped sticks and we went to the city of Belfast where they bought a shop. And I was very lucky there because they had 2 theatres. They had loads of cinemas, but 2 theatres. So I was able to see shows when I was small. Though they did variety shows then, and a lot of the stars like Slim Whitman and Lonnie Donegan and Max Bygraves would come. But there was a complete show on with them. Jugglers, acrobats, and they were conducted by an orchestra, and I suppose I fell in love with the lighting, the colour. I mean, you'll know this as well, David, because this is how we got to know each other through working North Walsham Concert Hall. I did a few shows there with you were there and Kevin, and of course, is it Colin?
Colin, yeah.
Colin, Jerry, and his mum and dad.
Yeah.
And so you know what it's like, the buzz of a live show, and that imbued it with me. So as I got older, I sort of underachieved at school. I remember coming home one day and I said to my dad, "Dad, I'm no good at arithmetic." He said, "Don't worry, son, that makes 3 of us." And so that just gives an illustration how I underachieved a bit. But when I sort of then left school, I took menial jobs, factories and things. And I tried doing a little. There was an advert for a PJ Proby lookalike at a place called the Plaza in Belfast. And it said in the poster underneath, "It will be managed all the way from England. It will be judged by Mad Mike the DJ." Now, that was a big thing when you were over in Belfast. For somebody to come over from England, it was a big thing to come across the water, the Irish Sea. We used to call it the Shock then. So I entered, and it was a £5 for the winner. And all my friends got together, and I had my chum was Fergie Woods, and another guy called Ed Cort, and his sisters had a Tom Jones bow. If you remember, PJ Proby used to have a Tom Jones bow. He had a frilly shirt, so they dressed me in that, and I did a bit of a go. So I won the £5 and went back to the cafe, the Milk Barn, bought everybody Knickerbocker Glories with the £5, all my chums. And that sort of instilled us to do a mime act. So what we did is we got the old Grundig, you know, the old tip,
Oh, yes.
Fergus Woods and
Yeah,
stuff. He
yeah.
was a whiz kid then, and he put together some 60s music, and we did a bit of a mime act. And then after a while, I developed a few gags, patter, did a few competitions. But the big turning point was my brother Bran came back from Butlins holiday camp. And Butlins then had a camp, as well as the camps he had in England, Filey and Skegness and Clacton and places, and he had one up in Scotland. He actually had one in the Republic of Ireland, 26 miles from Dublin, in County Meath and Mosney. And my brother said, there's a great job you could do. He said, you keep getting the sack from these factories for telling jokes and acting the fool. There's a job. They will pay you to actually act the fool. And I never set foot. I never set foot in the Butlins, but because I was instilled with my brother Bran's his seductive, he instilled in my imagination, this is the job, and I rode off and got it, and that was a great start for me, because I took the train from Belfast on its way to Dublin. It stopped outside the camp. The pitch and putt was on the camp, and of course, the great thing about Butlins is you help people enjoy their holidays in the daytime, but you get a show at night. There's one big redcoat show once a week where you can learn to do, and you get that very valuable experience. And from then I got transferred over to the Butlins in Clacton, and that helped me then to make an assault on the clubs, the northern clubs. So that was basically the gist of it,
Wow. Yeah, that's a heck of a journey. We've got some questions come for you, Jimmy, which is I'm sure you'll be pleased to know. One of them, very relevant to what you just said, is because I was going to ask you how you actually got into doing the act you did. Well, Martin 2E0MSY says, I'd like to know how Jimmy decided on his trademark outfit.
Yeah. When I was playing the clubs, at that time in the 70s, the singers and comics pretty much looked alike, They sort of, the dress, the comedy garb was more from the variety days in theatre. So the people wanted to move on now. So, but I realised in clubs, the hardest, if you can get a laugh pretty much at the start, it settles the audience. Because up to then, they're not sure if you're going to sing or tell a joke and things. So I thought I'll dress comically, and I had a white tuxedo and a pair of trousers cut off. And of course, my fellow Irish countrymen were digging roads and working on building sites. So I thought I will dress quite suave, but then when I get to the bottom, I'll have a pair of Wellingtons on, and then I'll dance on. And so that it sets a sort of an atmosphere at the start of your act, you see, of what you're going to do. But the actual hat and the tailcoat came when I got. By the way, when I got a talent show on television, Search for a Star, I wore the white tuxedo and the Wellingtons. But my agent got me, because it was while we were in Malta, I had an agent in London, Phyllis Rounce, and she got in touch and said, I've got you on the good old days. Now, it was a music hall show that came from the City Varieties Leeds. And it meant the audience all dressed in an Edwardian costume, and so did the acts. So they said, could you wear this tailcoat and could you wear the hat? So they practically give me the garb, because it went out a couple of days before Christmas, and it was quite well watched because, as you know, in the early 80s, there only was a couple of channels.
Yeah.
So my agent the next morning said, let's ask the BBC if we can buy that gear off them. And we asked them, but they said they hired it from a place called Berman's and Nathan's in London. So we rang them, and they sold it to us for 60 quid.
Wow. And that's really how you got dressed and how you're doing it?
This isn't the 60 quid one, because that fell apart. The next one cost a few more bob, actually.
Incredible.
But,
so you just sort of, it was almost accidental, really, and they just dressed you. I remember
it falls into your lap. I think the thing is, David, if you plan, you have that dream and have a bit of a goal, things, conspire. I remember reading in a book called The Power of Positive Thinking, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and he was saying about this. He knew this guy that always started as a reporter but wanted to be editor And he said, how did you do it? He said, well, a person who is self-reliant, conserve positive, and undertakes his work with assurance of success, magnifies his condition. He draws to himself the creative powers of the universe. Now, that's not me being clever. I learned it off by heart because I thought that's great. So you're sort of drawn towards the people and things, aren't you, that can help. And I've been blessed with certain people who have been there at the right time to just, you know, because you can veer off so many times, you can give up so many times.
Yeah.
You know, because the clubland, they're, what's the word, a discernible audience. You know, so you've got to reach, you know. I mean, there's things you discover too, David. You know, like Liverpool's down the road. They're all comedians there. And that was quite tough when you're starting off. And then up in the Teesside, Middlesbrough on the way to the northwest, they were the same. But when you work and get the character, right, they're my favourite audiences. Liverpudlians will warm to you because as if now you can cut the mustard. You put the work in. Right. And the same up on the Teesside. They're my favourite places to go now. It's not a funny thing you find out.
It is. And when I was I don't think it's very PC now to say anything like this, but when I was a teenager sort of thing, most of the jokes that went around the playground were Irish jokes. So is the fact that you're Irish, was that a helping hand to you, you know, being able to tell the jokes?
Yes, because you're talking about, instead of saying this Irish fella, I'm talking about Uncle Patrick. So it gives it a warmth. It gives it a family. And so I can go home to Ireland and do the exact same act. Yeah. So that's the acid test. I go over home to Northern Ireland pretty much. I haven't been there for a while, but it used to be a couple of times a year and do little tours and things. So they always know you. And your family all come in. They all, you know, so, and your friends who you've known and grown up with, that's part of your audience. So you're very right. It is. It's like what Charlie Williams used to do, you know, colored jokes about, you know, black people because he was himself and it would be, you know, it takes away any hint of racism or cynicism, you see.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and I think you can get away with it, I guess, because you are Irish, clearly.
Absolutely, yeah.
We've got a few other comments, because we must try and get through some of these. We've got one guy, is one of our members, John 2E0TWQ. It worried me because I've just read, the first bit I read, he said, he's got me in tears. But I think they're tears of joy. Don't worry, don't worry.
What I want to say, David, is it Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3?
Hey! You should be a comedian. Oh, no, you are, aren't you? Anyway, John just said, Jimmy, do you go to cricket matches?
The first time I played cricket, it took them 3 hours to get me out. I was locked in the pavilion.
Oh, dear. I bet that's been said to you more than once as well, hasn't it, in your life? We've got another question here from Steve G3VA. Did you ever see the motorcycle racing? This is a serious question. In Cookstown, he said.
Yes, it's a big thing, really, yeah. And there was a famous... Joey Dunlop was a famous motorcyclist. He tragically got killed on the motor, but he was a great champion. There's a great history in Northern Ireland of motorcyclists. And there used to be a joke about Joey, God rest his soul. I mean, and he would have loved this. What do you call a budgie that rides a motorbike? Joey Dunlop. Yes. Well, I never actually saw it, but I did. I know that the TTs in Northern Ireland are second only to the TTs in the Isle of Man. I mean, one of my favourite black and white comedies is George Formby. And he has this song, Riding in the TT Races. At a 50-mile race, I'm the best. I drive 5 miles and skid the rest, riding in the TT races.
Oh, yeah. It's brilliant stuff. Got another question now. I don't know the real name of this person because he's signed himself in here as Feathers McGraw, which is a sort of a Wallace and Gromit, I think, character. So anyway, is this Jimmy's favourite time of year as he gets to harvest some fresh material from all the crackers, he says? Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've got a great question for you here from Tonya Gillings. Hey, Jimmy, what would you say if you were asked to go on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here next year?
I wouldn't go on. I've been asked to go on reality shows, and it's not my scene totally. I worked hard at an act to get on television and do what I love doing. I think television turned its back not only on people like me, but on good taste. And to me, reality shows are people with nothing to do watching people who can do nothing.
Really?
I mean, I'd rather watch our budgie. At least he can whistle. So, no, you won't, folks.
No, okay.
That's the answer to that.
That's very fair and very honest answer. Thank you very much for
that.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, I feel strongly about that. I want, and there's lots of good acts out there. Stan Boardman, Mick Miller, Bernie Clifton. And they've turned their back on these acts who've learned their trade. Brilliant acts, come out and see them live, and they'll hold an audience in their palm of their hands,
Yeah.
And they're shamefully overlooked.
I mean, we don't see.
The thing is,
sorry, Jimmy, go on.
With social media, I've got a platform now, so there is an appetite for my type of humour beyond my geographical reach. And lucky with my good lady, I mean, when the lockdown kicked in, I decided to do a joke every day for the people that were on Facebook and who followed me and the followers and that. Now, after about 40 or 50, a fella came on and said, why don't you go for the 100? So I went for 100 jokes.
Really?
I finished in July or sometime.
Oh.
But the good thing about it was a goal to go for, but at the same time, it gave me a cutting off too. We could finish at 100 because you can't keep doing it all the day.
No.
And that was, I got so much warmth from that, David, and people and things. So, you can still build your audience. You don't need, if they never come on, if the phone never rang with these people, I would still be able to go out there and have an audience out there for me. And I feel I'm blessed by that.
Well, I'm sure all the stages throughout the land are all just waiting to get back to normal, not just for comedy, but for plays and for all of the other types of art, because they have been.
I've got a little poem I've written about it. Can I just do that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Please do, yeah.
When will the lights come back on? When will the comic tell his joke and the singer sing his song? When will they open the door so we can sit in our favorite seat and cheer and yell for more? I saw a lonely theater today. It was a sorrowful sight. It was dark. It was quiet. It seemed to be dreaming of an opening night. For that night, how we all long when we could all dressed up and go. When the lights come back on, I'll be sitting there in the front row.
Yeah. And we look forward to that. It's very apt and very true as well. Yeah, I mean, it's got to get better. And at least we can now see light at the end of the tunnel, can't we, as well, for that?
Well, the vaccine.
Yeah.
And it was an Irish lady did it, Margaret Keenan.
Yeah.
She originally from Enniskillen, and that Fermannah's next to Tyrone, where I sort of grew up in Cookstown. And no, she was lovely. 91, isn't that lovely?
Yeah. I never know when to take you seriously or when you're going to just come over with a gag, so that's the trouble.
Well, I mean, my ambition is to live to be as old as my jokes.
I'm sure you will. By the way, Colin Jerry's just put a message on the Facebook he's watching on there, and he says he's watching and says hello to you, please.
Lovely. Well, what I loved when we played the Walshingham, is it called? It's in North Walshingham.
North Walshingham, that's right. Yeah, well remembered. Yeah.
Well, Colin's mum and dad used to make lovely tea and sandwiches.
Yeah.
Mrs. Crick and I used to love that. In fact, I don't know if you remember one of the nights. I did it a few times, but one of the nights, Roy Hudd came in, the one and only Roy.
Yes.
Came in with his wife Debbie, because he was living around that way, and that was a wonderful night to have Roy in the audience. Yeah. And it was so sad. It broke my heart to hear about Roy, and it happened just before the lockdown in March that he'd passed away, because he was an absolute consummate professional. He could do anything. He was an encyclopedia on music hall. He had the books, he knew all the entertainers, and he could do great tributes to Max Miller and people like that. So he is such a sad loss to the showbiz industry.
Yeah, I remember you all sitting down in a bar after the performance and everything.
Do you remember?
Of course,
It's a
we were
lovely
just
memory, wasn't it, David?
Yeah, we were just packing up all the lights and the sound equipment and all that sort of thing,
Yeah.
and you were there sitting there. It just doesn't seem possible, really, does it?
Well, that's why you were all so nice there, that it's a real pleasure to come on this.
Yeah, it's very good of you.
Meet.
It was really good of you. We've got someone else who's just in. What did it? Oh, the messages are just whizzing by here. Oh, what's Steve asked? What's Jimmy's best heckler put down?
You can go home now. Your cage is clean.
I'll have to remember.
Or sit by the window. Sit by the wall. That's plastered as well.
Ooh. I'm going to remember these.
Yeah. I remember I worked at a place once, and it was so tough that the hecklers brought their own microphones. Right? And this fella at the back shouted, "I can't hear him." And the fella in the front says, "Well, I can. Do you want to swap places?" And that was the night.
Yeah,
that was the night. I walked off to the sound of my own Wellingtons, you know, and the manager of the club ran round and he said, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "I feel funny." He said, "Well, quick, get back on the stage. Look, where's off?"
I'll never remember these. I keep saying I will, but sometimes I could do with a thing to put down. A lot of when we meet in normal times, you know, I'm the chairman of the club. You probably don't know that of this club. So we normally meet and we've got 50 or 60 people there, and I do occasionally get hecklers. So I'll try and remember some of those for that. Yeah. I've got Rodney G0CBO. You remember I explained to you in rehearsals a little bit about these call sign funny things that we use. So his name isn't really G0CBO, but anyway, we all go by these things called call signs. He says, do you find that your audiences these days are all older people, or does your comedy still appeal to all ages?
Right. Well, what happens, obviously I get older. Family, I can take families because I don't do anything untoward. But here's a story that happened 2 years ago. I was on a show with a young comic called Richard Herring. It was like a podcast, and it was in the Lowry, Salford Keys, not far from here, the Lowry Theatre. And Richard was touring around the country, and I'd met him at a comedy festival. So I went on, and he chatted the way you are, and I did gags and things like that. And when it came out, I got these people coming on, and they were saying, "I'm in my 20s, I've never heard of you, but I really enjoyed you that night. I want to buy your DVD." Do you know that makes you feel so good, David?
Yeah. Yeah.
That you can get reinvented with young people?
Yes, it must do. It's really refreshing. I know you're very, I mean, you know, lots of acts are clean, but you are a very clean act, aren't you? You haven't.
I always have a wash before I go on stage.
Well, that as well, but I mean... But you know, you are. I mean, there's a lot of people who go down the swearing route and everything else to get effect. But you've never been like that, have you?
You see, that used to be when I started off in the 70s. There was blue comics, but they were all beyond stag shows with strippers and things. You know, the way, and this is a sad indictment. That's all moved now to mainstream, which is so sad.
Yeah.
You know.
It is. It's almost. Well, it loses its effect as well, doesn't it? Anyway.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. You know, I mean, you can do a little bit of slap and tickle innuendo, but ought not gratuitous swearing. It puts off mums and dads bringing children. You see, it hasn't helped our summer seasons. I know times change and the cheap jet travel and things like that, but that hasn't helped either. You know, I mean, you're down there, that Norfolk coast, that Great Yarmouth, Gorgeston, Cromer, we love it down there. I've had some great nights and things, and there's such happy memories of those great days in Great Yarmouth, you know.
Yeah, Britannia Pier's still there, and
great, long may it survive.
Yeah,
I did the Wellington, and as well as the Britannia, and that was absolutely. There was a guy called Dick Condon. He used to manage the theatre in Norwich.
Yeah. And
he was a very charismatic manager. He used to go around with a radio mic in the interval saying, "Now, have a nice drink, everybody. How you enjoying it?" He was from Dublin, the Southern Ireland, and he actually put then he really revolutionised the Theatre Royal Norfolk. They came from all over. It was a great success story. So he actually tipped his toe over in Cromer, and they named a bar after him. He did the Cromer Pier. It's the Dick Condon bar when you go there. Well, he did a couple of seasons in Great Yarmouth. I was lucky enough to do one. Funny enough, when I came back from Malta, the Happy Holiday Show. And Dick Condon put in 3 acrobats from Italy called the Fredianis. Tommy Jones, who was a singer who'd won Opportunity Knocks, singing Let Me Try Again. Sid Francis playing the trumpet. Yodeling Bill Gore in UV would have boots all lit up while he sang. Denny Willis, who was a great clown, he did this great routine, a slapstick routine. And dancers, and all that, what do you hear for this? For a quid for children and senior citizens. I think the rest, the normal price was only 3 or 4 quid. And this was 1982. And, you know, we built up from nothing because people, once they heard about the show, the value with all those acts, all those in. There was actually an act I forgot. There was 2 girls, illusionists. And these doves used to fly down from the balcony. They closed the rack, but they used to make dogs disappear from kennels on stage. And it was just a show and a half, really. When I look back, Dick was a very innovative man, basically.
I mean, because a lot of us get our entertainment from television now, as well as live theatre, but especially in these times. And I suppose the only real, what I call variety on television now is the Britain's Got Talent, which may not be your sort of style, but at least it does invite and encourage sort of variety acts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just the judges become the stars in a thing like that.
Yes.
You know, I was very lucky. I got on a thing called Search for a Star. And basically their brief was to go out and find anybody that was half decent and felt they needed a break. It was a very honourable thing. And at the end, they used to go to, it was on London Weekend, and they used to go to Scottish TV, Anglia, Yorkshire TV, and they used to give marks out of 10. I mean, I won a heat, but I didn't win the final. I came second in the final. That's why Steve Royal, who came fourth in the Great Britain's Got Talent recently, I wrote him a little letter to say, well, I came second, so don't worry. If you work hard on your act, practice and rehearse, you'll still achieve your goals. Yeah,
it's very true. Very true in life, indeed, not just show business, but in lots of things.
Anything that's worth having is worth working for.
You're absolutely right, Jimmy, yeah. We've got several little comments here and things. We've got a request for a dedication here from Kevin M0UGD. Kevin is the Kevin, Tammy's brother, by the way, you know, we worked with. He says, could you please dedicate or say hello to Edna Pratt, who he knows is watching. So could you say a special hello to Edna Pratt, please?
Edna, it's me, Jimmy. Come here. How are you? It's lovely that you're joining in. It's great to have you aboard. This is our family now. It's like a family get-together.
That's lovely. Thank you. We should explain, because otherwise it's a nepotism. Anybody can now, by the way, if you want any dedications or anything, we're coming towards the end now. So please send them in now. Edna, by the way, is our nanny, or Tammy's nanny, our nanny, and she's 97. If you don't mind that. I hope you don't mind
lovely.
That. Nanny, if you mind me telling your age, it's too late.
Let me know her birthday if you want to email the next time her birthday, because I've got a book. When I go around the shows, I take a book, a birthday book, and people write in, fill in their name and address, and on the week of their birthday, I have a look on a Monday, and I send birthdays through to them.
Oh, we'll do that. That'll save me. That'll save me buying a card.
One here.
That'll save me buying a card. Thank you.
Well, there's another one here, isn't there? I think when we were talking earlier on, there's one of the club, the Norfolk Amateur Radio Club, and she's not too well at the moment. I'd like to read out. It's Sarah Hall, 2E1GTE, and Sarah, I hope you're back on your feet soon, and you're out fighting fit for Christmas.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Yeah, Sarah's for those of you watching. Sarah is Tony Hall's daughter, and unfortunately was taken to hospital a few days ago. So we thought it'd be nice if Jimmy read her a message as well. I don't know if we've got any other messages here. Oh yes, one of the things here, we've got Rodney asks, do you find that your audience these days are all older people?
You've done that one.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, have you forgotten it already?
I've forgotten that. I'm trying to be thinking of the next thing.
It's Groundhog Day!
Yeah.
Groundhog Day!
Thank you, Jimmy. Have we got any other questions? We've got John saying we've got the Britannia Pier, we've got the Wellington. I'm trying to pass it on. We've got Regal, the windmill. The windmill. Do you remember the windmill at Great Yarmouth?
Well, during that year I did with Dick Condon, Bernie Clifton was at the windmill with an act called Fiddly Gig.
Yeah.
And Bobby and Tommy, Cannon and Ball, God rest Bobby's soul, who just left us. And
Yes.
but they were at their peak. They were on top of the game, and they were at the Britannia. And when I went back then to Great Yarmouth a couple of years later, I had the great pleasure. Peter J. revamped, because obviously his father Jack used to have the theatre there. Now he called it the Royalty. It had become a cinema, but he turned it into. They still showed movies and parts of it, but he revamped it because I'd done pantomime in Birmingham with Cilla Black. So he put Cilla in, and I did the warm up for her, and that was a wonderful summer to actually work with Cilla. And to know Bobby, her husband, and that was one of.
If you ever come up this way again, or when you come up this way again, Jimmy, let me know. And if we've got a bit of time, I'll take you around those places in Yarmouth, because the windmill is now a crazy golf course, and I know that's sort of sad, but it is a lovely. They've done it really well, because you end up, one of the little bits you end up with your crazy golf is on the stage, so you end up on the stage in that theatre. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah. Next time you come to Norfolk,
so
let me know.
Is it like a themed pitch?
Yeah, it's sort of. Yes, and then there's
movie themes.
That's right, movie themes. They've got old big cine projectors and cameras and things like that as well. It really is good, and that's Peter J. Still owns all that. He's quite an impresario.
Well, I know he's got the circus.
He has the Hippodrome.
The circus.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him in Belfast when he was with Peter J. and the Jaywalkers.
Yeah.
And he used to play the drums. And their big hit was the William Tell rock and roll version of the William Tell Overture. Da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's still very, very active. In Great Yarmouth.
Well, he's a showman, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
He takes it from his father. We need people like that, really.
Yes, I've got a question here. I'm going to read it without reading it first. So, G0JSV. What a memory. What does your wife feed you? Lots of fish and blueberries, or are you the cook of the house? He says.
Oh no, it's my good lady. She's the cook here. I mean, I can make a slice of toast and put a banana on it. Really, that's
wow. That's
but I struggle
unusual.
with a boiled egg. No, I'm very blessed. Really. Did I mention her technology requirements? Well, I'd like to mention her cuisine talents as well.
I know.
I'm scoring brownie points here for my marriage, haven't I, David?
No, you are. And I mean, I tell you, everybody at home now, I know not some of you will know other people in show business, and maybe the experiences aren't always good, but I can tell you at home now, and I don't want to embarrass you, Jimmy, but it's true. You are very genuine, both of you, and you're so welcoming, and that's why I thought if I email you, I bet you'll answer it and come to the call and do this for us tonight. So genuinely, you're nice, and I know that you'll know lots of other good people in showbiz as well. It's just that sometimes it gets a bad rap, really, as you know, but there's only a few that spoil it. But, it's lovely that you share this time tonight. We're going to have to sort of wind down a little bit now soon, aren't we? One of the things I remember you've had letters from your mammy before.
Yes, and I just happen to have one.
Do you?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. She says, "Dear son, come a little bit closer. I hope you're keeping well during these trying times. I don't know what to do with your father. Every time I tell him to keep a safe distance from strangers, he said he doesn't know any strangers. Once, since he found out this virus came from a bat, he hasn't watched a cricket match since. Things are tough, son. We're having to cut down on electricity. I only plug the electric clock in when I want to know the time. We've been to the food bank that many times, we've both got loyalty cards. The Salvation Army called, and your father got some second-hand clothing from them. The dress is a bit tight, but the bonnet fits him perfectly. Your sister Mary has managed to quit smoking during the lockdown with the aid of patches. She puts one over each eye and she can't find her cigarettes. But your cousin Seamus, his marriage has suffered through the lockdown. He now plays his wedding backwards on DVD so he gets a happy ending. But the good news is, son, the whole family have bought us a flat screen television for Christmas. I don't like it. My ornaments keep slipping off the top. I can't get your father to watch The Crown. He said, who wants to see a program about dentists? Oh, and by the way, I'm not sending out Christmas cards because of the price of postage. I've wrote and told all my friends that. I hope we get better weather this year. Last Boxing Night, we had one of the worst storms in living memory. You know Mrs. Murphy next door but one? She's now next door but 25. A slate fell off our roof and just missed my shoulder by 6 inches. It hit me on the head. Your father had a narrow escape. He was passing the pub and a gust of wind blew him inside. He got very worried, son. He thought he might be rescued. I've never seen gales like it. One gust of wind blew our bedroom window open and your father and I out of bed, out of the window and into the street. It's the first time we've been out together for years. Well, I must go now. Your father fell asleep on the couch with his mouth open and I let the budgie out for a fly around. The doctor said they'll operate just as soon as your father comes down from the curtain rail. Oh, by the way, son, I must tell you this before I go. Come closer to the letter. I went to visit your granddad's grave and the headstone was a little bit tilted. I got a piece of wire, tied one end of the headstone and the other end to a tree. Since then, your granny's been and she thinks he's had the telephone put in. Stay safe and healthy and have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Lots of happiness, Mammy.
Oh, yes. Brilliant,
Pleasure.
Jimmy. Thank you. We're going to go now, haven't we? But I'm going to do this now. I know you didn't ask me to do this, and in fact, I ordered this before we made contact and set up tonight.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to tell you about this, everybody at home. All right. Honestly, we don't have to do this contractually or anything like that. When you see people go on a Christmas plugging things, it's always tempting to think that you have to do it, but it's not. This is something that Jimmy's doing. He's got a DVD, and he's got a CD, and he will also send a signed photo and a personal letter. And he'll do this for the grand sum of £12, including postage. And not only that, and this is the bit I really want to say, apart from that, it's a great present, a personal present that you can get him to write your name, whoever you want it to go to or whatever, is that he will donate £5 of this to your favoured charity, won't you, Jimmy? Do you want to tell us a little bit about Francis House Children's Hospice?
Yes, it's in Didsbury and it's Manchester, and for the last few years we've been going around parish halls around the northwest of England and raising money. We've got a wonderful guy called Jim Nicholas who does an Elvis tribute, but he books the halls and he does an act on it. My good lady sings with it, and the money goes to that. Now, the story of the CD, actually, which you kindly have held up, the great Ken Dodd bought me a pair of concrete Wellingtons for my 50th birthday.
Did he really?
And yeah, and what had happened, we had them pinched from outside the door. And we weren't even going to report it, but we went to the police station, so they gave us a serial number. But the next morning, the local radio station, GMR, Greater Manchester Radio, and through that, there was like a tsunami of publicity, all the radio stations, and we got the local telly and things. And what happened then, I was playing a show in Bridlington. It's in Yorkshire on the seaside resort, and the manager of the theatre said, "Well, Ken's coming a couple of weeks after you to do a Sunday night. If you can get another pair on eBay, I'll get Ken to sign them." And that's exactly what we did. We got another pair. Can you see them here? Quite heavy.
Yeah.
There's lots of happiness. You need 3 shredded wheat to pick these up.
I bet you do.
David. And it inspired me to write a song called "Santa Bring My Wellies Back to Me." And I wrote a few more songs. In fact, I wrote 20 and picked out the 10 best. And I got a benefactor, lovely man, John Kennedy, fellow Irishman, who made good in the building trade. And he's a humanitarian philanthropist, for want of a better word. And he put up the money to go in to Lisa Stansfield's studio here in Rochdale. It's got a great name. Gracie Fields is from Rochdale, so it's called Gracie Lands.
Oh,
Gracie
lovely.
for Gracie and Lands like for Elvis. And so I felt it even made me feel sound good. It was so good. And we've sold up, coming up to 2,000 copies now, with about 37 or 38 to go. The 2,000 copies at a $5 a throw at my live gigs. Obviously, when we do it on the online, we do a bargain with my DVD of my live act that was recorded locally. But we will have raised, once we've reached the 2,000 mark, £10,000 for Francis House.
That is fantastic, Jimmy. Well, as I
but
said...
I must tell you what happened. Can I tell you what happened the last day or two? A lady in America ordered one. Right, so we sent one to America. So May, my good lady, goes down to the post office. You know how much it is for post to send? It was £9.
Oh no!
Right. By the time I send the $5 to Francis House, I'm down £2. But we're out. We're getting our stuff out to America.
I think you must have shared Ken Dodd's accountant then with that.
So I've got the thing. I think. Would you like?
We'd love to hear it. Yeah, we'd love to hear it, Jimmy. And
Santa, bring my wellies back to me. Without them, I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the Christmas. It was the 23rd.
oh my goodness.
Now I've searched high and low, but everyone says no, so I'm asking the man in the white beard, Santa, bring my wellies back to me. Without them, I'm as... It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the Christmas tree. Now as we go through life, we'll have our share of strife and bad times round the corner, you can bet. But I was so shocked that day, my blue skies turned to grey, and I haven't got over it yet. Come on, everybody, join in.
Santa, bring my wellies back to me.
That's it. Without them, I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh, and I found them underneath the Christmas tree. Now, some like chestnuts roasting, or marshmallows toasting, or holly hanging up in the front door. But if I got you know what, I'd be happy with my lot, and I wouldn't want anything more. Here we go, everybody!
Santa, bring my wellies back to me.
Without them, I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the... One more time! Santa, bring my wellies back to me. That's it. Without them, I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the Christmas tree. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the Christmas tree.
Hey!
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, David. Thanks, Tommy, on behalf of May and I.
Thank you ever so much, both of you. We hope you have a wonderful, super lovely Christmas. Thank you for making us laugh. Thank you for everything you do. I know you do an awful lot for charity as well, so thanks for all of that. And we'll remind people about this at the end as well. Thanks very much to Jimmy Cricket and to May in the background as well. Bye-bye. Happy Christmas.
And you and everybody at the Norfolk Amateur Radio Club.
Bye-bye. Oh, how do we end that, Tammy?
Wow.
I know, it's. I hope you've enjoyed that at home. Jimmy is really a lovely man, and his wife as well, May. And I tell you, it was just great that they were able to do this for us tonight. And I wasn't kidding about this. This really is. You get those two things. You get a signed photo to whoever you want, and you also get a personal letter for £12 delivered. So if you're not sure who want to buy someone for Christmas.
Website's down here.
Website's at the bottom there, and we'll play you a little video right at the end, a little sort of advert showing you how Jimmy did that in the studio. As I said, he honestly didn't ask us to do that, but it's our pleasure to do it, because what a great surprise present. Tammy, it's an early Christmas present.
Oh, thank you. Well, I did take the cellophane off this the other day because I was going to put it in the CD player, but I didn't have a CD player to hand, so
right.
I'm going to have to put it in I'm going to have to steal back a laptop and put it in there.
It's brilliant, isn't it? We've got to go, but just to remind you again of what's happening, back to normality now. Not so fun, is it? Saturday, 12th of December, the Koblensked at 10 o'clock. More details, of course, on our newsletter and website. This Monday, there's the informal NARC Net at 7:30 on GB3MB. And next Wednesday, NARC Live. It's our very first NARC online Christmas party, hosted by Tammy, Kevin and myself. I hope you'll join us for that. And don't forget all the regular items, your stories. We'd love to hear from you. We'll put them on the programme as well. Send them to this address, radio@dcpmicro.com. And don't forget as well that Christmas card. We'll be very happy to send that. Make up someone's day as well. Cheer them up. But from now, from Tammy M0TC.
Bye-bye.
And from me, David G7ERP, get on the air for Christmas. Get on the air to care for Christmas. And we're going to leave you with this video of Jimmy's, with how he recorded this in the studio. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week on NARC Live at 7:30. Take care. Bye-bye.
Santa, bring my wellies back to me. Without them I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Jimmy Cricket. Come here. We've just done an album of Christmas songs. The title is Santa, Bring My Wellies Back to Me, and other gems like that. The album is out now. They cost a £5, and all proceeds go to Francis House Children's Hospice in Didsbury. Happy Crimble.
Want anything more? Santa, bring my wellies back to me. Without them I'm as lonely as can be. It would really make my day if you put them on your sleigh and I found them underneath the Christmas tree. Santa, bring my wellies back to me. Without them I'm as lonely as...
Thank you, Santa. There they are. So you see, dreams do come true.
And I found them underneath the Christmas tree.